Nowadays, when we talk about, of course, cloud and all this collaboration suite, one thing which is becoming it is a hottest topic, but it's also becoming core part of our digital life, which is Gen AI, ChatGPT, LLMs. How is Nextcloud using or planning to use some of these technologies? Now there is open source or DeepSeek, so you cannot say there's nothing open source. There's a lot of open source movement is also going on in this space.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, generative AI is very, very important for us. A lot of people are critical about, is this really helpful? Does this really something I need? So in our space, I think it's super clear. I mean, we had, as I discussed earlier, a collaboration suite, and there are so many useful things from transcribing video calls to have live translations, have summarization of chat conversations, to have suggestions for answers to emails, and so on and so on. So in a typical office work day that you do and where Nextcloud is used, there are so many ways for generative AI to make your life easier. So this is something that's a no-brainer to integrate it. But we didn't only just want to integrate something, just integrate ChatGPT like everybody else does. That's like against our goals, because then OpenAI would have access all your data. That's actually not what we want. So for us, was always important to have something that is open source and runs local. And we're really happy that we integrated lots and lots of open source local models. It goes from the Falcon model up to Llama, of course, DeepSeek, as you mentioned, Mistral from France, and many others. And we enable all of them to run locally if you want. And then basically you have the same functionality as you have with Copilot and Google Gemini, but keep your data local. And we're actually quite proud of that. Our AI team managed to do similar features, but in a privacy-friendly way.
Now, before we wrap this up, of course, one thing that COVID taught us that don't look at 5 years from now. So just tell us, what is your immediate goals, like let's say next 5 months? What are the things that, of course, you cannot share a lot because we'll talk about it when it's ready, but just give us a bit of glimpse that what else to expect from Nextcloud.
Yeah, as you said, we really have this philosophy that we don't really talk about features until they're really ready. I'm not a big fan of pre-announcement. We only talk about things when they're production ready. But there are some things I can say. I mean, there is a big release coming up later this year. That's our last release for the year. And we have exciting improvement in the AI space that you mentioned. For example, we have this agentic AIs, this assistant features introduced in the last release, where you can actually chat with the system and say, hey, can you please send an invitation when the next meeting space is to Swapnil, but only if the sun is shining, and include a summary of the last call, blah, blah. And this is something we're really proud of, that we managed to implement that. And this will be greatly expanded so that Nextcloud becomes more and more of your personal assistant in a way. And of course, that's something that is scary for some people, because your assistant knows everything about you. It knows your files, your emails, your chat messages, and this can be a bit scary. But in our case, again, everything is local on your Nextcloud server. Your assistant does not leave your devices. So this is something where we can provide really great usability and great functionality, but 100% private.